Hello everybody, back to the channel, welcome. It's been a while, but we're back. Due to the nice weather this summer, I've not been indoors much doing gaming. I've been outdoors a lot this year, mainly cycling. But the weather's shit, we're back, and the videos will start again. There's going to be lots of Minecraft videos this time. I'm going to restart my hardcore series, but for this winter we're going to start with something a little bit different. I'm in Flight Simulator X right now. I'm in an Airbus A319 on the ground at East Midlands Airport, and I'm going to fly from East Midlands to Jersey, Isle of Jersey, which is down here. This add-on here, this Airbus add-on, is a fully professional add-on from Just Flight that uses real cockpit replica, real procedures. Everything included in this simulation is from the real aircraft. Next, I've got a new setup here. I've got a microphone headset and a working fraps compared to that shitty stuff I had before. And also plugged into the computer for this aircraft I have a throttle quadrant, which is just here. I'm moving it now, and it's moving in the simulation. And I have a control stick which is also plugged into my laptop. I'm moving that now, and that moves this. But most of this flight is going to be performed using the aircraft fly-by-wire autopilot system. It's good to make use of that, and we're going to get going. So, basic instrumentation, you've got the autopilot panels here, flight director, landing gear switches and all of that, the electronic flight information system, the primary flight display and everything, engine warning display. So what we're going to do, we're going to press Shift 4 and open the overhead panel, and the first thing we're going to do is turn on the battery master switches. After that, that's both of those, and you can now see these two are illuminated, and we're going to turn on the engine generator switches, and we're going to turn on the nav light, and we're going to get rid of that and press Shift 3 to bring up the radio management pedestal. It's already switched on, but switch it on and off, and it brings up these frequencies. That's good for us, they will be useful later on. So press Shift 3 to close that. Back to the overhead panel, we want to turn on the external power switch and the window heat switch, and then we're done with the overhead panel. The external power, basically the aircraft gets plugged into a power unit on the ground at the gate, which gives us these. There is our primary flight display. Our map is not loaded yet because we have not aligned the IRS. We will do that shortly. But now we want to open up, we'll just go outside for a moment. This is the aircraft. It's a British Midland Airbus A319. We're next to a Thompson Boeing 757. Registration Golf Delta Bravo Charlie Hotel. A year ago, British Midland got brought out by British Airways, so they don't exist anymore, but they're nice to fly in the simulator. So we're going to open up our... we're going to open up our ground service menu, which doesn't appear to be working. Why is that? Hold on a second. Well, sorry about that, everybody. The hotkey for fraps and the hotkey for the ground service menu was the same, so I just had to change that. There, ground services, we want to request boarding, and as you can see, boarding requested up here in the corner. Handling bus servicing, and as you can see, the vehicle's moving towards the aircraft. The jetway is in use. Open exit 1, that's the main door behind the jetway, so the passengers can actually get on the plane. And we also want to open the cargo doors. so cargo can be loaded onto the plane, such as suitcases. So now we want to open the flight management computer by pressing Shift 5. This controls everything from the autopilot to the fly-by-wire system, everything. Literally everything, and it's vital that every piece of information that gets inputted into here is correct. Airbus A319, 232 at the top, IAE V2527EA5 engines, that's all correct to my knowledge. So we want to press Data, and we want to click Import FS Flight Plan. Now here we have a route discontinuity line, so press Clear, and select the second left line select key to get rid of it from the scratch pad, and Insert. So here is our route basic. DTY is our first waypoint, that's Daventry, which means we will probably fly south over Toaster. First of all we want to click on our departure airport, which is Echo Golf November X-Ray, that's the ICAO code for East Midlands. Let's click that and click departure, and we're expecting a departure from runway 27. 27 degrees is the runway alignment. That's the same at Jersey incidentally, and Gibraltar. Can't think of anywhere else, but there well. No SID is our option, and Insert, and again erase all the flight plan discontinuity lines. There's two of them on this route and they're buggers. So we want to do the same with our arrival airport. Echo Golf Juliet Juliet, that's Jersey. We want to click arrival. Due to the same runway alignment and similar wind directions, we'll be expecting an ILS runway 27 approach at Jersey. We don't have a star, we don't need a star, so it's no star. Insert and remove the discontinuity lines. That is our flight plan. That's completed. And that is the big stuff out the way. So we want to go to MCDU menu, and FMGC. And first of all we want to align the IRS system. That will bring up the navigation display. Our cruising altitude today will be 30,000 feet, and this little number next to it, minus 45, remember that's our flex to temp, we'll add that. Our flight number today is British Midland, so that's BM and then 3831. There you go, there's our route. That's just appeared on the map. Let's zoom out. Our range is currently 20 nautical miles. Let's zoom out all the way to 160. You can just see us going up. EGKK, that's London Gatwick just there. Miles away though. Our alternate airport. So if we cannot land at Jersey, we'll need to land somewhere else, and that airport's going to be Dinard in France. So instead of EG, that's the UK's ICAO code, so it's France. So it's LF, and then it's Dinard Airport, which we're going to be flying to if we can't fly to Jersey, which is RD. Poor visibility doesn't affect us because we can also land the aircraft through fog. Instrument landing system, that's what ILS stands for. You'll hear that term a lot in this video series, so it's important you know that. So that's our initialization page done, so click next page, click on our zero fuel weight and confirm it, and do the same with the block fuel weight. It is that simple. And our next page will be the performance page. That little number 45, minus 45, will end up in here. It does not matter about the minus. We need to enter our default flaps configuration for the Airbus A319, which is 2, takeoff T0, so it knows its takeoff flaps, and then 3. 2, takeoff 3. Confirm our V speeds, which will be 134 for V1 and VR, and then V2 when we pull back on the runway to take off will be 139 knots. Next phase, our climb speed above 10,000 feet will be 300 knots. You can't go above 250 under 10,000. Click next phase, our cruise speed will be 315 knots. Let's make it 310 just to be on the safe side, we don't want to go over speed. And that, go back onto the flight plan page, make sure everything is in order. And we are done with the FMC for now. Well, for the rest of the flight. So we're going to make sure our ND mode, navigation display mode, is on ARC, which which it is, and our ND range is 40 nautical miles. That's what the checklist says. I've got the checklist right here, the real Airbus A319 checklist, but I have a personal preference of 20. So now we want to open the air traffic control window. We want to tune East Midlands ground and request IFR clearance. That's Instrument Flight Rules clearance. Flying with instruments, not visual cues. And they're going to give us an altitude, which we will enter into our altitude bar.
East Midlands
So let's close the exits as well.
3831 IFR to Jersey, ready to copy. Midland to 3831.
There you go, 7,000 is our first altitude.
Fly runway heading, climb and maintain 7,000. Departure frequency is 134.175, squawk 3352.
We want to acknowledge the IFR clearance.
Midland 3831, clear to Jersey Airport as filed. Fly runway heading, climb and maintain 7,000. Departure on 134.175, squawk 3352. Midland to 3831, read back correct. Contact ground on 121.9er.
So we've closed the doors, exits are shut, so we're going to request taxi now.
Midlands ground, Midland 3831 with Bravo, ready to taxi IFR. Midland to 3831, taxi to and hold short of runway 27 via taxiway Alpha.
To reiterate,
Contact
my
tower on
voice
124.0 when ready.
My voice is the yellow, the air traffic controller's voice is the green. Anything else that's a different colour is another plane, and that doesn't have any relevance to us.
Hold short runway 27.
Let's tune East Midlands Tower now. We'll have that closed during the flight. If air traffic control message comes up and it's for us, it will automatically bring the window up. And if there's ATC voices on in the background and the window's not up, it's not for us. It's another plane. So now we're almost ready for pushback. We need to go back into the overhead panel. Auxiliary power unit, master switch. It's a plane coming into land. And we want to press APU start. So start the auxiliary power unit. That will provide us with electrical power whilst we're on the ground. If any of you ever wondered what this small jet engine like thing was in the tail of aeroplanes, that's the auxiliary power unit. That provides us with electrical power whilst we're on the ground. So now that's on, we can hit APU bleed, so the bleed air switch for that, so it doesn't overheat, and then turn off the external power because we no longer need it. Fuel pumps are on as they're blank. They've only got a message if they're off, such as that. So we want to turn on the wing lights, the beacon lights, nose light to taxi. We want to turn landing lights. They're currently off. They're currently retracted and off, but we want to bring them out but stay off. And turn on the runway turn-off lights. Right. We want to no smoking on. Seatbelt signs confirmed on. Flap selecting FMC. Spoilers armed. We'll do that once the engines are started. Auto brake max. Parking brake. Let's request. Let's go to our ground services menu and prepare for pushback and departure. Nose to the left, tail to the right. There's an aerial view of East Midlands Airport. And a plane coming into land as well.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Ground control is the ground crew who sort all of this out. Let's bring all the way. As you can see on our autopilot, 7,000 feet. That's our expected altitude there. That's what we'll go to. We're just going to reset the flight though.
Departure check completed. Flight has been inserted. Runway when able. Release parking
So
brake.
let's release the parking brakes by pressing the period button. There's our V speed in there,
All engines clear.
139 knots.
Start that wheel.
So starting the engine, so we're going to bring up the pedestal by pressing Shift 3. Change the engine mode to ignition from normal. Start engine number 2. And you can hear it starting. We're currently in the cabin. Cabin view.
Exit runway when able.
Sadly it doesn't animate passengers. It'd be good if it did, but it doesn't. And that little dog barking sound is the sound of the hydraulic pumps starting up.
Britannia 85, contact ground on 121.9er. 121.9er. Britannia 85.
So that's one good start, engine number 2, so let's start engine number 1. We'll go back into the cabin view because it's a bit louder in the cockpit due to the tow truck. Cheeky drink. Cheeky 5k run. You can hear the engine number 1 beginning to start. What's that little shit on the front? Fucking Conrad, whatever he's called. Fucking knob. There's that Thompson plane that came into land. We're still pushing back right now. This is the virtual cockpit of our plane. Here you can see the FMCs there, radio management panel, pedestals. The aerial view of our plane taxiing back. Here we're outside. Very good graphics on this game, absolutely fantastic graphics card. Well, that's the rude sound of another plane starting up.
Parking brake.
It's a very loud sound, it's horrible, don't like that. So, we're going to go back into the pedestal, engine mode, normal. To turn off the auxiliary power unit, turn off the APU bleed switches. Engine 2 anti-ice, engine 1 anti-ice on, wing anti-ice on. Spoilers on, flaps as shown in the
Tow truck disconnected. Line has been removed.
What's that doing? Fucking hell, that's close. What is he doing? What a knob. What an absolute knob. What a cheese.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Blimey, that was a close shave. So we want to go back into the pedestal, press takeoff configuration. All our takeoff configuration signs are green. Oh, another one. French! It's French! It's from France! What's it doing here? Deary me, it's a racist slur. And on that bombshell, it's time to end part 1. We hope you enjoyed it. Sorry it's a bit long, but the next part will consist of us taxiing out to the runway and taking off and flying. Thank you very much.